So it is a fantastic moment in the Asian Games, and our doubles badminton players have won the gold medal. They are known as SATCHI. Now, what does SATCHI stand for? Which is an abbreviation for Satwik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty. They are also known as the Brothers of Destruction. That is a term which has been given by a very loving Indian media. They did an absolutely fantastic job beating the Koreans in the final. They beat Choi and Kim 21-18, 21-16. But the most important point here is that this record has been achieved. In fact, they've broken a record after 41 years. In 1982, in the Asian Games, there were two very fine badminton players of India, Leroy Disa and Pradeep Gandhi, and they won the bronze medal in that Asian Games. So it has taken 41 years since then to break that record. It is my privilege to welcome Pradeep Gandhi on this show, and hopefully Leroy will also join in. There seems to be slight technical issue at his end, but let us first get a reaction from Pradeep. And Pradeep, how do you feel that after 41 years, that record which you and Leroy set up in 1982 has finally been broken?
Yeah, it's a great feeling on top of the world. The records are meant to be broken, and then with even though there is a regret that 41 years it took to break the record, but then they have gone ahead of that and created a record of entering the finals first, ensuring silver, and they have broken another record of clinching the gold. So in one tournament, I would say they had broken three records, and it's just not only astonishing, credit worthy, but it's an amazing moment for Indian badminton. This pair has made all of us proud. Their consistency, their improvement in the last couple of years, as you say, that when they started on the scene, this must be their fifth or sixth year on the international scenario, and everyone has played everyone during their 5 years of so many international events. And
Right.
here, most important is how we say that, oh, I know his game, but simultaneously, all these countries and their coaches and their all special brains, they also must have tried to search for weaknesses in this combination. So, beating all that, then Indian brains have proved to be one up than all these, not only in analytical ways, but in execution. That was amazing. And that's why I
Talking
feel
about
proud
this,
about these people.
talking about this match, as it progressed, there seemed to be complete the domination by the Indians, and the scoreline was 21-18, 21-16. And here we were in our office, at the NNIS sports office, and we were all watching it together. So they kept, as the commentator said, who one of them is a professional former player of India, so Trupti, and she kept making the point that they kept changing the tempo. So for our viewers, can you explain what you saw and how they managed to win so emphatically?
Um, as far as their combination is concerned, I always, whatever I have been watching their earlier matches, and Chirag has been the controller of the game. And this Sakchi, what you call is, I mean, he used to ensure that he is creating, he has made the best use of his partners, all strong points, strengths. And that depends on one who is controlling the game, plus not getting his own rhythm disturbed. And here is again the strategy they whatever they have been following. Basically, their confidence level was so high that on way to finals they had faced tougher combinations than what they faced in the finals. So it was only a mental game for them to keep cool, to play the same what they have played in earlier, I mean, quarters and semis. And then this now they are big match players. What I would say is just amazing. And their strategy of, as Trupti has mentioned, is they have to change the strategy from point to point. There is less time, and then in that short reflex time, you have to immediately understand. So this cannot happen last minute. It is their preparatory period, and the earlier participation, their training, and then the credit also goes to their coach, Mr. Matthias Bo, who has always been very strict with them, and then he was ensuring that they meet all their requirements. And the big stride in their improvement came up was primarily because of their mental strength. If you see 4 5 years back, many matches they have lost narrowly, but they were always on the losing side. But if you see last 3 years, whenever there are close matches, they have been winning it. I mean, the winning ratio has been extremely high and much better.
So, Pradeep, when you say that Chirag is basically the man who controls the match, so in your time with Leroy, was there a similar combination or a strategy working? And again, for the benefit of our viewers, how does one control the match?
Uh, it starts from the point of view from the training period, then you go on experimenting, and between me and Leroy. So Leroy has some phenomenal strengths, and that always kept us going. So whenever there used to be such opportunities, we had one disadvantage that we were in long camps, no doubt, but same opponents every day for 1 year, hardly, I mean, same 2 3 combinations. So we had to work out on different strategies. We had to work out on when it goes coming to the close, how do we alert each other and play, and that did help us. Whatever strategy we have made, that helped us in the closing stages. So our simple one strategy throughout playing was that when we enter the court, not to casually play. With the moment we hear love all, from that onwards, we should not relax or we should not play casual stroke. If we have to play casual stroke, after the game is over, play whatever you want. But that inculcated into our system that whenever we enter this 20 feet by 44 feet ground uh, court, straightway you have to, from the word go, do your best. That was the concept. There used to be some mistakes happening, but that was very beneficial. And obviously, when we had our medal winning match against the Koreans, we had one understanding with me and Leroy that whether 10, whosoever, I mean, that time the game was of 15 points, whosoever reaches 10 first, whether opponent or we used to alert each other too much that then onwards, not a single not a single point. We have to do our best. Whatever happens, mistakes may happen, but from our side, we used to go all out, and that we practiced for almost 6 months, and that helped us when we played that important match when we were 10-6 leading in the second game after winning the first.
Pradeep, also, there's another point which Trupti Murgunde during the commentary kept making, that the Koreans tactically tried to increase the pace in the crucial second set, and they were trying to injecting a lot of pace. At that point, in fact, she suggested that the Indians should try and slow it down, which they did. Now, is that a function of instinct, or with the coaches Matthias Bo and Pulela were both sitting? So, are any instructions passed? How does this change happen?
Yeah, it does because the coaches play a major role during that time. If something is not going the way it should have gone, and then within 30 seconds you may lose 5 points if you think and experiment at that stage. So some coaches, they are watching from outside, and they are with the players for such a long period. So immediately they tell them that what needs to be amended and where the correction is desired.
Great. Pradeep, your friend and the old doubles partner, Leroy Disa, has joined us. Leroy, can you hear me first of all?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Definitely. Yeah.
Hi,
I can
Leroy.
hear you. Hi, Pradeep.
Right.
So, Leroy,
It's so nice to hear your voice after such a long time.
Yes, same here. Same here. They were just he was asking. I said, then what our planning was and how. I said we were regularly playing, and then we had made some formula. Whenever somebody used to cross 10, we used to alert each other.
there, can you hear me, please? There seems to be again.
Yeah, again some problem.
So, Pradeep, we'll continue with our chat till Leroy can hear us and join in, and hope that happens soon. Now, uh, let's talk about the couple of factors behind the resurgence of badminton in India, which is better facilities, better coaching, the time being given to these players, the rewards which come to them, which instill security. What are your thoughts and on that? And according to you, which is the most crucial point of support?
Yeah, one important thing, if you go to the history of around 40, 50 years, there used to be one offshoot case like we have seen earlier, Dinesh Khanna, and then there were some other senior stalwarts to us. But there used to be one off case. They used to do well. And if you see later on, then Prakash Padukone, then later on Sayyid Modi, and then even Pulela Gopichan also made country proud by winning All England. So if you see, there used to be a single case like that. But the whole concept changed. Sorry.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So the whole thing changed later on. I would personally, I do not know, which can be, arguably, I would like to say that the picture started changing the moment Indian Badminton League started. Basically, I have seen, I was one of the active member of the organizing committee and initiator of Indian Badminton League. So I have seen our youngsters staying for one month with all those world champions from their team. So primarily the format was more or less on the basis of the IPL. And then if we see that IPL, how many players the IPL has given to the India. So Indian Badminton League has helped a lot. Unfortunately, there are some litigations going on, so it has taken a break. But because of that, we started getting the good players. Second important change was that we started respecting the paired events, and our focus was on winning the team world team titles. So accordingly, the specialization concept started. Even if somebody is playing only mixed doubles, yes, you will be sent for mixed doubles international. Only you focus on your specialized event. Men's doubles, like somebody is focusing only on ladies singles, men's singles. So that also, when they were focusing only on the event, so that was also second point where we have seen so many players coming up.
Sure.
Third was a great support from the government of India as far as all the facilities are concerned,
We talk about the
and
support.
of course, the
Just to say,
credit always goes to the national federation because finally they had to approve, they had to encourage, they had to listen to such suggestions.
sure.
So this was done, and the coach. So coach also has been very dedicated. We have panel of coaches. Gopichan has been there, and he
Pradeep,
has given the
when you
results.
talk about the coaches, I can see Leroy again, and hopefully, Leroy, if you can
Yeah.
hear me, please give us
Yes,
your
I can
reaction.
hear you. I can hear you, Anup.
Okay, great. Can you give us your reaction, please, on the way Satwik and Chirag won the gold today, and also the fact that they have broken your record and Pradeep's, which was set in 1982 in the Asian Games. Your thoughts, please.
My thoughts today, I think I'm a very happy guy. Happy because they not only broke the record, they went on to change the color totally. And that was the color of the medal that I had dreamt of. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the gold. We lost to the ultimate winners. But today, Satwik and Chirag have realized my dream. Both me and Pradeep probably thought that the goal was ours the way we were playing, but things just didn't work out the way ultimately. Today, Chirag and Satwik played a fantastic game. There were a little bit, what shall I say, there were a few hurdles initially in the first game, but then they came back very strongly to win the first game. And second game, right throughout, they were leading. And it was so wonderful to see them play a dominating game in all the formats. They were extremely efficient in their attack and even better while they were defending. This is the first time I have seen both Satwik and Chirag defend as well as they attack. And I think that was the main reason why they were able to play and why they were able to win the gold.
Leroy, during the match, the commentators spoke quite a bit and repeatedly about the fact that the the defensive play of India has improved dramatically, and that's exactly the point you're making. Could you please elaborate on that and how important is it in a crucial match, in the finals we saw today?
See, the defense in doubles, in contemporary doubles, is as important as attacking, because when you go onto the badminton court, you're basically going for just one thing, and that is to win the point. So, in the process of trying to win the point, it may happen that it will not be possible for you to win the point, which means that you don't give the point. So, when you are in this situation, defense plays a very important point. This combination has been very successful because all throughout, Chirag was the one who was able to maneuver the entire game to play to their strengths. Today, in fact, right from yesterday, when I was watching the match, I saw that the Malaysians were totally concentrating on trying to break Satwik Reddy. But he stood very powerful. He stood his ground and he made sure that he did not crack up in defense. And that worked in their favor. Today, it was the same thing. Satwik held on to his defense, and I could see that very often Chirag was doing a better job behind. This, this element of complementing each other was something that was not happening in the past. But today, they complemented each other in real great style. And in fact, once or twice, the services of Satwik were so good that even when the opponent left it at the crucial 12 all or 13 all in the second game, it was, absolute spot on. I could see that in every department, Satwik and Chirag were definitely two notches above their opponents.
That's an excellent analysis. I would like it very much if Pradeep joins in this conversation with you, Leroy. And we would like a little bit of nostalgia in the sense that in 1982, when you won the bronze, Leroy, you worked a lot with scratch combinations. And in fact, if I have my stats right, out of the 7 men's doubles national titles, 3 came in partnership with Prakash Padukone, Sanat Mishra, and Suresh Goyal. So when both of you met and you got together, what was your journey like in brief then?
When you ask me about my journey, the fact remains that it was a journey. It was a journey because we decided to combine as a team while we were traveling. In fact, when we were traveling from Bombay to Jalandhar, that was the time. It was a journey when we started, and it ended up as being partners. It was in the train that I came to know and he came to know that we both were without partners. And it was in the journey to the trials that we decided to partner each other. And Pradeep will agree with me. And today I can see him smiling and laughing because it was not a journey. I think it was destiny. This journey was destiny that brought us together on a journey to finally play the Asian Games 82 together. And what happened was, as we played, we blossomed, we grew up, and we ultimately were a very formidable combination at the 82 Asian Games.
Right. Pradeep, I have had the privilege of watching both you and Leroy play together. And as a fan of the game, I used to try and catch up on as many matches as possible in Lucknow and Delhi. I've seen Prakash Padukone, Syed Modi, all of them together. So I would like your view about the way the game has moved since then till now, and what has been the most critical component. Is it a function of funding? Is it a function of giving international exposure to the players? The level of coaching? What has changed?
There is no just one single answer. Is the whatever last 41 years and the way for any government to encourage. First is they want you to perform and bring some medals on your own with the facilities then, and then work hard and whatever way, and then they start looking at this sport that okay, this seems to be a good sport and we need to encourage that. And that is how the 82 onward the journey started. Government was had decided to give priority and support to sports, and to see that when India was the host, so let us try to get maximum medals, since Asian Games were going to be hosted by India. And thereupon, they allowed lot of camps with all those foreign shuttles, the so-called foreign shuttles. That time, it was a craze. It was we were used to consider lucky to get a chance to play with the foreign shuttles for longer durations. And government that time supported. We had long camps with the duration of 2 months at a time, and then total it was for about 1.5 years approximately. And that gave us an idea of improving understanding with each other, understanding each other's strengths and weaknesses. Gave time for everybody to think and plan out the strategy and how to go about it. So this was the basic benefit of that. And though the foreign exposures were missing as compared to what they have, we also missed out on the good coaches that time. Basically, like what Mr. Matthias Bo is there. So we didn't have such type of opportunities. It was only you analyze, self study, and self improvement concept was being followed by both of us. And we both used to respect each other's experience, each other's understanding, and then we were always ready to experiment during our coaching camps, whether it is clicking or it needs any improvisation. This has made a lot of difference, and the exposures, though were less, but there was some sort of support, not only from the National Federation but from the government of India. Of course, during that time, economically, whatever the government of India had those days, as compared to that, it was fairly good, but no way compared to what has been offered today. It is something just amazing. They have whatever we used to talk that time. We want exposures. We want these shuttles to practice. We need some good specialized coaches. We need specialized events to focus on. All these things slowly transform, and that is how is the result. We win Thomas Cup. We have done well even in team championships, where the paired events also has to play a major role. So
Right.
all these have really helped us.
Leroy, we need your view on the coach Matthias Bo, and for the benefit of our viewers, like Matthias, he was the gold medalist at the 2015 European Games, two-time European champion, winning in 2012 and 2017, and the silver medalist at the 2012 Summer Olympics. What, according to you, Leroy, has Matthias Bo injected into this game, and particularly with these two boys? I know that for a fact that you spend quite a bit of your time training, helping young players. So, what is so special about Matthias Bo?
I think the one thing that he brings to the table is his stature. He doesn't require anything else. When Matthias Bo says something, he will be taken very seriously. What I have seen about Matthias Bo is his reading of the game. His reading of the game is so good, and his installation on how he would like the boys to play has played a very important role in this combination doing well at the world level. Number one, he has assessed their strong points and their weaknesses, and has made them modulate their game or modify their game in such a way that it is becoming very difficult for the opponents or the opposition to exploit their weakness. the type of game that they are playing is making life very difficult for their opponents. It is only on a day when they are not able to play that type of game when these our combination fumbles. Otherwise, the moment they play, the game that they have been playing at this Asian Games, they are just unbeatable.
And
Because
Leroy, you would agree. I take you one step behind. The concept was of talent search.
yeah,
Somebody told me that earlier Satwik was playing with someone else, Chirag was with playing with someone else.
yes,
One which coach I do not know. I'm not sure.
it was that
But
Malaysian coach
that
that broke the
who
combination of the two and brought these two
Yes,
together.
yeah, yeah. He broke the combination and he felt
Yes,
this combination is going to click. This he thought about 5, 6 years back. So
absolutely,
that
absolutely.
is something amazing that talent search and one who has this type of judgment. I think we need to have this side of this type of approach more often while going ahead with the paired events.
See, when you look at Satwik and Chirag play, the wonderful part is that they play a typical game that the Indian players play. The body of an Indian athlete does not enable him to jump very high, but he can focus on playing the game being grounded. And if you see the way they were dominating in the areas between the shoulder and the waist when you play flat. That was the area where these guys have improved tremendously, and they were
Yes.
able to outpace and outclass their opponents from there. They were very, very vulnerable earlier, but now they have become so strong because that used to be a weakness. They were exploited in that area, and that ultimately put them onto defense.
Right.
Now what is happening is they are not allowing the opponents to exploit them, so much so that the opponents are finding it difficult to make inroads into their defense. And this is the major point which I have seen and which I have noticed, which our coach Matthias Bo has instilled in these players. This is a wonderful thing to have somebody there
Leroy,
who can analyze your game for you and make you play. And I won't say that their defense has become strong, but their defense has automatically upgraded because of their their strong flat play.
okay, gentlemen, we need to wrap up this show. But before we go, I want a quick reaction from both of you. Let's begin with Leroy. So, Leroy, both these boys are of the age of 22 and 25, and there are predictions that they could go on to be possibly one of the greatest combinations in badminton that India has ever produced. But looking ahead at the Paris Olympics, what are your predictions? Leroy, you go first.
Anup, the first thing I would like to say is that this combination is not one of the best combinations that India has produced. This combination is one of the best combinations of the world at the moment. On Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, they will be officially the world number one. Now, to be the world number one is no easy joke. It means that these boys have the potential and are the number one combination. What I think is they have to make sure that they are injury free. They have to make sure that they continue to do the hard work that they do. There is no time for them to relax. There is no time for them to take off. They have to continue because I feel that there are other people who are now going to be working harder. So
But
life is not
Leroy,
going to be easy for
Leroy,
them, but I think
regarding
they have to continue.
Regarding the Paris Olympics, what is your medal prediction? Can they land the gold there also?
Of course, most certainly, most certainly.
Okay. Pradeep, you agree?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would like to add something more is that still we have some good time to prepare. What we also need to focus is on go for utilize these coaches for certain period whenever these people are having a relaxing time or going for specific tournament. They should go for talent search, and we need to have at least four such combination ready as a backup. both in, I mean, the all paired events, women and men. So this is important as far as the Paris Olympics is concerned. That you set the ball rolling now, and when these coaches have shown us the path of success, that means their judgment and their other method of coaching is doing good for Indian type of play. So we should plan to have more such combination ready, not only in paired event but in singles as well. Today, if you see the top four in singles or five, tend to see little gap. And similarly, the gap between Satwik Chirag and the next one pair is also good, but then we need to have, there is no three or four visible. That
Right.
we need to work out. And in Paris, I think with all this confidence high, we should do well. We should get
Okay, Sarwar,
gold.
thank you very much for your time, and it has been an absolute privilege from Team NNI Sports to be listening to you, and for all our viewers, the great combination of Leroy Disa and Pradeep Gandhi, who won the bronze at the Asian Games in 1982, and they've been analyzing the game of Satwik Sairaj and Chirag Shetty so well, and the prediction is that these boys should be able to land another gold in the Paris Olympics. Hope it happens. Thank you both for your time and for that brilliant analysis. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anup.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Leroy.
Thank you, Anand. Thank you. Thank you, Pradeep.